The 90-day deadline for consultation around clauses 4 and 5 of the BELA Act has passed. Whilst the country awaits the outcome of the discussions between various stakeholders with bated breath, political parties and unions are clashing over the matter. The Democratic Alliance, which has been strongly opposed to the implementation of clauses 4 and 5, is of the view that the two clauses are an attack on Afrikaner culture and seek to destroy the medium of Afrikaans in schools.
We're not dealing with rationality here. We've heard from what MEC Chilwani has said, we've heard from what Premier Lesofie has said repeatedly, that this is a revenge project against Afrikaans. It's a major revenge project against Afrikaans, and that is what they're doing. And we have to believe that they will do what they say they will do. Mr. Chilwani says that there's no need for a single Afrikaans-speaking school in Gauteng, meaning that he will close them all down and make sure that his head of department has the final say to prevent any Afrikaans medium school existing anymore in Gauteng. And Panyaza Lesofie says he's continuing the 1976 uprising to do away with Afrikaans, which is completely ahistorical because there's absolutely no historical precedent for this 1976 uprising to have anything to do with stopping Afrikaans as a medium of instruction.
But teacher union Sadtu, which has threatened legal action if the two clauses are not implemented, has poured cold water over Zilla's claims.
Well, first and foremost, I must indicate that the fears and the worries that are so unfounded. The first was to really, demonize this particular bill by bringing things that were never in the bill before. And now that the bill has been, or the act is now signed, all of a sudden we're being told that they want to support mother tongue learning. Of course, all of us support mother tongue learning, but let me make it very clear to you, it is not about supporting mother tongue learning. It is supporting, separate development. It is to say, go and build a school for Setswana, go and build a school for Xitsonga. Don't integrate our education system. Don't bring your children to our schools because they are going to impact on our culture. They are going to impact on our language. They are going to lower the standard. That is the real issue here. It's about deracialization. It's about integration, which they don't want. They are saying they want African schools. So you cannot have in a country where the constitution, based on Section 9, is a constitution that is based on the Bill of Rights to then say people of this country are a nation and not ethnic groups or racial groups. But you keep on saying there's an African school. So that is the issue, is that they don't want to have their children mixed with other races. They want purity. So that is what they're saying.
Meanwhile, one expert is of the view that some political parties are pulling stunts over the two clauses to gain favor with the electorate.
This is a political stunt, a marketing stunt by the DA to gain favor with the right, what we call the racial political right wing, which is the defenders of white privilege in South Africa. Many of these parties in the GNU use the GNU not necessarily that they know that they are going to achieve something specific, but to propagate certain views to grandstand for their potential voters in the 2026 and 2029 election, that we are your people, we are the ones who are standing up for you, even if that thing is going to amount to nothing, because the arguments that have been tabled so far by the DA and by Helen Zille herself are nonsense, undiluted nonsense.
The EFF, which recently concluded its elective conference, has threatened to mobilize support from South Africans if the two clauses of the BELA Act are not implemented.
Comrades, Cyril Ramaphosa has to sign a BELA bill. If Cyril Ramaphosa does not sign a BELA Act, we are going to the streets. We must mobilize everybody in society to demand that the BELA Act must be signed. We are not going to be threatened by AfriForum. We are not going to be threatened by anyone who was wearing orange and saying we must not implement the BELA Act. The BELA Act is going to be implemented. No one is going to be excluded in a school owned by government on the basis of language.
The SACP has pledged support to Sadtu's planned industrial action next year on the first day of schooling. Natasha Peter, SABC News, Johannesburg.